So first things first, we're going to do an oil change on the Cobra. Next up, some tires, as well as adding some 17 by 10.5 replica wheels for the rear. And lastly, from there, we're going to move on to doing a tune-up, which consists of just doing spark plugs and the air filter. What's up guys, this is Carlos. Today I'll be doing the first oil change on my Cobra, of course under my possession. It's time for the oil change, and this is the oil that I always go with. Mobile One, pretty much on all the cars that I've had. That's my preference right there. And of course I had to go with the Motorcraft OEM oil filter, the FL820S. Got the car on jack stands. I had to get some low profile jacks, or low profile ramps, because with my low profile jack I couldn't even get that underneath the car at stock height. It's pretty crazy. Just a little peek through here. Some Coney orange shocks up front, and I know for a fact that the rears are the QA ones. But that's pretty nice. Nice little upgrades. So let's get into it. So looking underneath the car, pretty much you know, your stock basic underside of the Cobra. I mean, I do have those radiator hoses, but yeah man, I still got the OEM pulley, crank pulley, and all that good stuff. Apparently these cars come with H-pipes from factory. That's pretty cool. Nice. I guess I'm gonna have to use a little bit of persuasion to remove this filter. Pretty much work it until fully loose. Yeah, that oil just kind of goes everywhere, so I'll just clean that up after got the new filter in. By curiosity, it's kind of hard to zoom in and focus, but up there by the manifold there's like blue on the cylinder head. If one of y'all knows what that could be or why that is, please let me know. I wonder why the cylinder head is blue. I'm sure there's a reason for it from factory, but just curious. So a little tip and advice, if you use some brake cleaner, once you wipe down like all the leftover oil that kind of falls through the parts, just give it a last little spray with your preferred brake cleaner, and all the oil comes off. So leaves it nice and clean. It's one of the tricks we used to use at when I used to work at Toyota. Next we got the oil drain plug. That's going to be a 16mm wrench to take it off. That was a little snug in there. Alright. So what they say about these Cobras, from factory I believe Ford manual calls for 6 quarts, but as we've come to find out, when you put the full 6 quarts, it doesn't really reach. I mean, it goes barely to the minimum range of the dipstick. They say you can either put the full 7 quarts, or like me, put about 6.5, but a happy, you know, medium between the two. So pretty much your oil level will be right in the middle of the dipstick. Fast forwarding a couple of weeks, I got me a pretty cool billet machine oil cap from Team Blue Wolf Creations. I'll put their link in the description. You can pretty much make any kind of custom cap you want for your Cobra or Ford, and it retains, they put an OEM cap, and then on top of it they do like their machine cover. This is what I wanted, so that's what they made for me. But shout out to them. This cap honestly looked really just worn out, you know. So let's pop that new one in. Beautiful. Beautiful. So next up, for the maintenance that I'm doing on the Cobra, the car needed some tires, and I was debating back and forth of what to do. I kind of wanted to go with 18-inch reps, but I decided to stick with my 17-inch wheels, as my long-term wheel setup is to have some CCWs again. So I figured, you know what, just get a real good set of tires, and I got me 2 wheels for the rear, so they're 17-inch reps but 10.5-inch wides, so I could fit these bad boys. These are the Toyo R888R's, and these are some pretty meaty ones, 315, 35 17s. And up front we got the Toyo HP Extensas, and the OEM size of 275 40 17s. Pretty stoked about it. These tires, I mean, iconic of course because of the design, and it's gonna look just super good. I think just the OEM wheel that these cars, the OEM design these cars have, is just so hard to beat. And with the proper stance and the proper tires and whatnot, I mean, it's so hard to beat. And I want to enjoy this look for a while. I'm really happy with my decision. Look, but let's check out a wheel. Just began to open one of these boxes up. So of course, SVT. Moving all the plastic. Go ahead and lay it down. Pretty cool. Let's check them out. Wow. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. Man, these are actually like really nice. They have a nice concave profile. I had no idea they had that much of a concave face. Freaking sweet. So yeah, these are the 17 by 10.5s. At least the proper width of wheels to fit the 315s. Man, that's beautiful. So that's what we're looking at. These are going on the back. Wow. The color, honestly, I can't tell if it's gonna be much different or not, but it's a machine face with a machine face, so it might not be a 100% match, but it'd be really darn close, and I'm completely happy with that. Just got back from Discount Tire. Tires are mounted onto the wheels. Here's my fronts, the massive rears. Oh man, this looks so freaking good. Yeah, this is definitely like a setup that I see myself like having for quite some time. And that's why I wanted to get some good tires right now. Freaking beautiful. I just love that concave look. But anyways, we're gonna slap them on to the Cobra and take it out for a little spin. And one more thing, since I'm going with a much wider rear wheel and tire setup, I got me a set of these Maximum Motorsport low profile IRS bolts. These pretty much go right over here. Get through here. So this bolt right here is the one that we're going to be replacing. As you can tell, the head is a lot thicker than the ones that package. So that's what we're going to be doing. And all it's for really is just clearance, because again, we're putting a much more aggressive wheel and tire setup on this car. So I want to avoid any kind of rubbing. And my fenders are not rolled. I mean, this car, again guys, was pretty much bone stock when I bought it. But since I'm not going to drop the car anytime soon, I'm going to leave it alone. And then later on in the future, do lower the car, then I'll get the fenders rolled. But for now, I shouldn't have any kind of issues. Got it in. So a little update. I had to end up getting some spacers because the 315s are a very aggressive tire for the R888s. So they were coming very, very close to the side of this brace on the IRS. But it looked like it was clearing maybe by like a 16th or like an 1/8 of an inch. But I wanted to be a little more safe, so I decided to go with this spacer right here. This is a 5mm spacer, which equivalates to about roughly 3/16. So it's plenty to give more clearance. And by the way, the LMR website for those replica wheels, they did say that I might have to use a combination of a spacer as well as, of course, the low profile bolt. But since I have a really aggressive tire, this is something that I feel like I had to do. So just note for those that might want to run the same setup. So all I did, pretty much cleaned up against the face of the rotor and around the hub. And these are hub symmetric spacers, so fit up perfectly. Next up, we're going to be doing spark plugs and changing out the air filter to a new one. I don't really have any plans on modifying this car whatsoever at the moment, and I figured might as well replace the spark plugs and air filter just to kind of keep it fresh, you know, give it a nice fresh tune-up. So we are actually going to install the OEM spec spark plugs that came original on these engines. Pretty cool. There's no need for me to put like TR6s or anything like that. Again, I'm staying stock for now. So figured you can't go wrong with the original equipment and stuff. A little update, if you can see, there's like blue paint on the side of the cylinder head, as well like underneath the engine bay. Whenever I was asking about like if anybody knew about that, well, I actually learned that that means that that head has been replaced because it was part of a recall of the head tick. So the blue paint means that it's been replaced. This is the updated cylinder head that does not have that ticking noise. So that's pretty neat, and that it doesn't have that infamous head tick. As a lot of these cars still today, they have that ticking noise when you go check them out. But thankfully this car has been fixed, so that's awesome. Decided to start on the driver's side and popped off the coil cover. Pretty easy, just a 10mm socket, comes right off. Pull off the coils, really easy, just unplug it, take them out, and direct access to all the spark plugs. These are old plugs, watercraft as well, so I have no idea if they're originals or if they've been changed out, but either way, that's what we're doing. Just dabbing a little bit of anti-seize and dropping them in as I go. Same thing for the boots. I put a little bit of dielectric lube on each one. First things first, what I did is went ahead and removed the air intake tube so I can have access to the coil cover. And yeah, now we can take that off and do the same as I did on the driver's side. Looking at the passenger side plugs, I mean, they don't look that horrible, really. Nothing that really stands out to me either. So yeah, everything's looking good so far. Gotta throw in the new plugs, throw in the filter. Pretty much done after that. It's definitely time for a new air filter, as you can tell. Yes, sir. Everything's put back together. Looking good. Let's go ahead and give it a quick start just to make sure it's all firing properly. Yes, sir.